You hit the shot, beautiful. My favorite part is how you reposition. This is fantastic. All really good. Okay? Here's where we mess up. This is a very similar situation, isn't it? I'm trying to think of where I've seen you do this before. Where was it? Oh yeah! You were doing that with Rays, weren't you? Where you had an ability get thrown at you and you held a position.
Yeah, because it's like, no, because I've literally. It's funny that you're reviewing this because I literally steal this from Baby Bay.
Okay.
Like, because no, there's a VOD I watched of like FaceCam when FaceCam was at its peak.
Right.
It's funny you're talking about Race because it was on Vine. He was in showers. He got like naded, right? It's like, oh yeah, they're clearing showers and they're walking out. So he jumps into the nade. And he does similar shit. He jumps into the nade and takes like some explosive damage, gets a kill for free, and dashes out. Like, and I've seen him do it like multiple times because I've watched like, I've watched reviews of like top Jet players. That's something that I literally just steal from him.
Do you have a dash right now?
No, I don't. So I don't even think about move. But like,
Hey everyone, my name is Worthy TV, and today I coached a player who struggled with fragging. Does that sound like you? If it is, you're in the right place. Make sure you watch the end of the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much. So, how did you feel about this this VOD we're gonna look at?
I thought I played just like okay, just not like killing anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I think it's funny because I wrote down in my notes several times the point in which the emotional battle kind of took over, and that's one of the reasons I'd say why you stopped fragging or stopped having what you would consider an impact. Whereas there's a few rounds where I'm like, you 100% had impact there, you just didn't feel it because you didn't get the reward system that you have in place for yourself, right? Which is getting those numbers. So it goes back to what I originally talked about with some of the things that we need to work on with you specifically is we need to get our mind off of the scoreboard. It's not important. But there's definitely, you could see how this is actually a really good example of a VOD where it affects you in a measurable way and it starts changing the way that you play. And we're going to see a bunch of rounds where we're like, this right here was unnecessary. But I feel as though, and this is my opinion, but I feel as though based on how you were in the scoreboard, you made that decision because you wanted to get a frag, right? And it caused it to make it a little bit more difficult for you to be able to do that. But we'll go over those things. I think the big key feature here in this VOD for you is to understand that sometimes you can't be the guy every single time. Sometimes you have to let the other people be the guy and support them, and that's what's going to help you climb and get out of the ranks that you're in right now. So you don't have to you don't necessarily have to be the guy all the time just because you are on a jet or you're on a duelist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I started us off on this round in particular because it was just basically back and forth trades, and I think this is really good for Haven when you're on defense. If you're a 2v2 or 2-2, it's probably in a good spot for you. But we're on an eco now. And I want you to look at a couple of things that we noticed right away on this round, okay? So 9:03 is when the round, or when the first part of the round really starts. So if we go right here, you're playing aggressive on B short. What's your plan here? What do you want to do? Do you know this round? Do you remember it?
Sit in short and shoot somebody.
Sit in short and shoot somebody. Sure, okay. So you're in an aggressive angle right now. Sova's back here, not really doing anything for you. And right away, if you look at your mini map, you identify 4, okay? So 4 people on the map. The last person is Brimstone. Do you know where Brimstone is?
No.
Okay. So if we don't know where Brimstone is it smart to have our knife out here?
Not really.
Okay, so that's one thing. And you didn't get punished on this, right? But this later on, you might get punished on something like this. right? We are now in a 5v2 situation. Now this is something that is more team related, not so much for you, but why do you think we won this round? Or why do you think we're in a position to win this round?
Because they funneled into a close angle where we had, you know, when we were on gun disadvantage.
Beautiful.
Garage. Yeah.
Perfect. So this is an example. I want you to be able to see this visually and register it in your mind, because when you're on your ecos, I want to see more of this happening, right? Where you're funneling people into these short range fights. I want you to have proof that that stuff does actually work, so you have factual evidence, you've been a part of it, it does work. This is the best way to create something to happen for you. Okay. Perfect. So we have an op, and we're going to be taking a long angle here. This is a communication thing that we're going to talk about right here. Okay. We now have A site locked down. Right at this exact moment, this is where I usually call out to my Sova, you can move off. You can go ahead and rotate over to B, because I don't really need anyone, right? So the time you actually call for it is at 10:54. This is all time that we could have had a guy over on the right hand side of B and helping Reyna, and even having Reyna shift over to support.
I'm holding A. They can't come in without fighting me.
Right? So that's one little thing. Okay. And these things seem small, but later on, it could be game winning. It could be round winning, right? Now, pay close attention. This is where we need to get a little bit more information. I want you to be occasionally flicking your eyes up and just getting some information as to what's going on with their fight, especially if they're not calling. I might even, at this point, fall back to this angle right over here. Do you see my mouse? Fall back to this angle and just pixel peek it. That way you can just get information on if they're coming to A, and you can still see if you need to rotate. So we got Jet and we have Sky. Okay, that's 2. It's a 4v5 situation. Now it's a 4v4. Jet's pushed up. Rain is there. Chamber's there. I would be rotating out. And we're kind of staying here right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by this point in time, we should already be supporting Reyna. We should be already here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that Reyna's dead, Sova's here, and you're now rotating in here, it is now a winnable situation for Jet. This round is just turned around completely. Jet could grab bomb, push through B, even go into C, might even push up onto U. There's lots of different things that you can do. So now it becomes a winnable situation. And a good player would be able to turn this 1v2 into a winnable situation. Right? Luckily, we're playing in plat. So it's like little things like that can literally turn a whole round around in the wrong way. So here's a really cool round, because I learned something, or not learned something, but just sort of got an idea of something that you can do, or something you can call for if you have a Sova partner, for example. Okay, so the Sova is gonna throw a dart into this corner, and what you could do is have him throw that dart off the start of the round, and you can peek through short using that dart. Because if you throw that dart and no one peeks into it, no one breaks it, then you know they're going to be back here, right?
Yeah.
If they peek into it and break it, you know they're close up. So when you peek out, you can basically take a close angle shot and then fall away. When there's an A rush, and it's a very evident A rush, typically if they're splitting, it's throwing me off when I hear your voice in the VOD and not here. I keep thinking you're asking me a question. But yeah, so when you've got an A push and your team is fully rotated over, sometimes it's good to be aggressive as opposed to defensive. Sometimes the greatest defense is a good offense. They say that all the time. and the opposite, obviously. So this is a round situation where being aggressive is actually a good thing to do. And I'm not talking about this initial peak you're going to have on long, but later on into the round. And I'll talk about what we're talking about.
So proud of me.
I'll show you what I'm talking about in a
I'm
second.
gonna read him like a book. I'm reading. Wait, does he have knives? No, he doesn't. Not. I'm gonna read this guy like a book. And watch.
So as soon as that smoke comes up, I'm frantically calling that they could be pushing A at this point. I can't see anything. They could be pushing A.
Avoid that.
So this is a pretty deep angle. Me personally, I fall right back to the corner if I don't see this. That way I eliminate how many potential angles they can be shooting me from. Because they can run out to the left and they can run out to the right like they're doing right now. Right? Okay, so now we're in the situation. We heard 3. Okay, we had some shots going this way from our Sova to take out one of the, I think the dog. So we know that there's some in short. So they're splitting here. Okay. We have to make an assumption right now that it's probably a 3-2. Maybe a 4-1. Okay. So this peak that you're doing here, this is all good. This is really good. So this is aggression that I'm talking about, because the brunt of the force is coming through here. So you can probably force a frag through here, and this creates time for your team to start rotating. You can't see this, but there's a smoke on CT. There's a smoke on heaven right now. So it's a 2v5. Think of it like that. Okay, so you got 2 kills. In a 2v5 situation, you are going to lose that fight. So what you can do at this point is to re-aggress again. You pull out your knives. You know that you probably have maximum 1v1 here. Doubtful you're going to have anything more than that, because you're probably the full brunt is going to come this way. So you have to take a gamble at this point, which will help you create more space for your Sage to rotate in. I don't expect you to fully understand this right away, but as you're going to see in a second, the aggression onto this sky will actually create space for your team to move around. Okay? Because right now, and Sage is being an idiot taking out an ability, Sage should actually have her gun out and protecting you. But if you push through here, and let's say you kill this guy, you now have this entryway into the bomb site. They only have this way into the bomb site. So it makes it really difficult for them to want to plant the bomb without short control. Right? So if you just push right into this guy with your knife and just try to 1v1 him, even if you lose, it creates space for your Sage to move in, creates time for the Reyna to wait for that smoke to go down. And then I think you have one more guy rotating as well, which gives him a little bit more time. But because you got that entry, now they have these 2 ways in. Smokes are still on there, and Sage is now in a 1v3 situation. 1v4 in a second.
What, bro? What the fuck?
So sometimes it's okay if you think you're going to lose the site to just try to push out and see if you can make something happen over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. See, because I thought my Sage was gonna actually be holding that entry, and I'd have enough time to like hold that. Like,
yeah. And you can't trust your teammates for sure, but at the same point, you can make it easier on them if they don't have to worry about you, and you just take that fight and you create that space. Because all of a sudden, if you get those 2 kills, it's a whole different round. Because then what you do is you end up perfect. I'm glad we paused here. You kill these 2 here, and then you push through here. It makes it really hard, first of all, for the A plant, because they're worried about here. And now they also have to worry about a flank coming in. So they are literally boxed in. You now play from this position, waiting, and they come in, and you have 1, 2, 3 points of attack that they have to worry about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of the frag issues that you have early on can just be positioning, some decisions that you make. And there'll be other situations when we're in scrims together where I'll be like, that would have been a good opportunity for you to just go for it. You're starting high ground on this one. I'm not sure if anyone peeks you here on this round, but if no one peeks you and you want to do this again, then you can just jump up on the high ground again, because they're not going to be clearing for you, right? And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Where was that? Okay, so you're on the ground. Okay. So We're going to talk about sniper mechanics here. Okay, so this is round 10. So we're going to start talking about some sniper mechanics. And some things that I recommend you start trying to do. Some people might disagree because this could be preference. But I'm going to give you the pros and cons of both here. Okay, so we're going to talk about how many times we should be zooming in on certain angles. So when we're holding this angle, I recommend a double zoom. And the reason why is that you have no risk of someone swinging you early in the round from the right, especially with the fact that you have an Omen pushing through mid. So you have absolutely no worry. You only have one angle that they can come out and swing on you in. Now, if they come in and they jiggle peek you and you hold it close, you can get the kill. You can always pull into the wall as well and just wall bang them. If they swing on you, it's a very small adjustment when you double zoom. When you single zoom, that small adjustment is massive and it can force a miss, which is actually what happens. If we go really, really slow, it's so small I had to pause it. So here we are. The swing is perfect. If we just left click, it's fine. But because he moves, you swing off to the right. Now, if you're double zoomed, that small adjustment would probably still net you a kill. Okay? I'm not even worried about the zoom in here. Now, here's the next part. Here's where we're going to need to talk a little bit about patience when we're opping. We have our Omen up here, and immediately you can identify that the chamber is looking over here. There's no danger. So my comment that I wrote in here is that not every single frag has to look like it belongs in a montage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're going to see what I mean in a second. You flick really hard here, whereas we can just put our crosshair and just slowly put it on him and just get the kill. Either way, he's still going to kill him. But your next comment, and the reason why I said that in particular, listen to what you say.
Fuck, I wish I could flick better.
You say, fuck, I wish I can flick better.
I wish I could flick better there. That would have been disgusting.
It would have been disgusting, but you could just get the frag as well. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to. Now, the best flickers in the world are the ones that aren't flicking that much. Like, they'll have the occasional flick here and there. They're like, oh shit, that was crazy. But they're not looking for that. The ones that are the consistent players are the ones that put themselves in a position where they strafe out onto a kill and they don't have to move their crosshair at all. Those are the ones that are going to be the top players in the world. So these montage clips, we don't have to go for them all the time. If they come, they come. But I want you to train yourself to try to stay away from that as much as you can. Having a 5K with your crosshair moving like less than a quarter of an inch on any direction is just as impactful if you were to flick around the map doing 180s. It is just as impactful on the game. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Maybe not on the view count, but definitely on the game.
Fuck, I wish I could flick better.
I wish you would actually flick less.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? This guy's hunting me for content.
I actually wish you would flick less. That's what I'm looking for. More than that. All right. Round 11 is my favorite round to look at, and the reason why is this is how to throw a round. Okay.
4 and 5.
Okay. So here's where you lose the round. Listen.
Yeah. Exactly. Dude, I'm 4 and 5, but
You've already lost the next round.
I can't say I'm not like doing my job.
You've lost the round.
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm fucking gaming some shit. I don't know.
You've lost the round right here, okay? Because this mentality changes the way that you play in this next round. Because now right away you're like, fuck, I'm 4 and 5. I need to be fragging more. No, dude, it's 7-3. You're winning. Fuck the frags. You're winning. Just keep doing what you're doing. You are going to climb. Okay? You don't need to work. Let ABC DEFGH carry. Do his thing. He's doing fine. Just support him. That's all I gotta
You
do.
guys aren't really playing into me and giving me any opportunities to like actually get some kills.
Okay, so remember what you say here, because this is going to change how you play this round. Alright? This is a moot point. We need to adjust your award systems here. It's 7-3 on a T-sided map. You're doing fine.
Yeah,
okay?
I'll hold this for you. They'll be like.
So, here's another example where I would say double zoom, especially with Omen moving up. I would just double zoom here. Okay? Here's where it gets interesting. Okay? They're doing their A take, and there's smokes on the site. Okay? At this point, if you push the smoke, I hate you. Okay?
I mean, my team's in the smoke, man.
I don't care.
Team's in.
It's a 3v3. It's a 3v3. You have no idea what's going on beyond the smoke. What you could do is go heaven if you really wanted to. Okay? If you push through the smoke with an op on a close range fight, it is the throw. You can wait for the smoke.
Guys.
You can wait here.
It's not been. Oh fuck, I'm blind.
Okay? Let me go back a little bit. Here's the reason why. We don't know what's going on this end.
It's not.
And it's a 5v3. It's a 5v3, I think, at this point. Yeah, it's 5v3. We don't need to do anything. Right? We don't need to do anything. We can just wait right here. Or we can go into heaven. Okay? Watch your minimap. Where's Jet?
To my left.
Yeah. What you could do is you can sit here and just watch your minimap.
Guys. It's not.
Sage could be dead right now. Sage could actually wait until we retake.
Oh fuck, I'm blind.
So if you had gotten that information, we wouldn't have run out like this. Right? Okay? So, I'm going to play this back. If we wait here, this is fine. But, I guarantee you if we rewind back and we listen to what you said, I'm looking for frags. This decision here is the exact decision that I have coached people to stay away from several times. This is what loses rounds right here. Okay? So, 808, where's Jet? All I'm saying right now, if I'm spectating you, is, oh god, no. Don't, no. Get out of there, get out. And then here's my favorite part. Listen to what Sova says.
Wait, oh fuck, my.
Let me go back.
How was rifle now? Jet's hell.
Yeah, I think my brain was just turned off. I didn't even hear that. Like.
Yes, it was. Why do you think it was turned off?
No, I think it was just because like I don't think you're necessarily wrong about the fact that like I changed my mentality, but like I think in my brain it was just like, to me it's like, oh, my team's winning, lol, okay, I guess I don't have to focus. Like that's I think what my issue was there. So whether it was I'm hunting frags, like I don't.
There's a situation that happened in Overwatch that was similar to this when I was playing support, and I think I just sort of had that same mentality, like, oh, my team's winning, and I kind of just ran up, and I went out in the open, and then I died, and then we lost the fight.
I mean, yeah, my team's winning, so I'm not really like thinking critically.
Right.
Like, I think that's like, okay, my team's winning. Just
So
why I don't think you're wrong about saying like, oh yeah, you know, let your team just win and you can do whatever. It was like the problem, but I think it was the problem because I just stopped like using my brain. So it's like, oh yeah, we're just winning, lol.
So I think what we need to start doing then, if that is the case, is we need to refocus ourselves every round to what is our intention behind playing this ranked game. If our intention is to just frag out, then that's one thing. But if our intention is to improve periodically and to get over to Radiant ranks, get up and climb, then we need to start slowly making the right decision every single round. I think it comes back to resetting your mental every single round. Every round is a brand new game.
Wait, oh fuck, my bad.
Now the problem here that ends up happening is now we're going to be spiraling out of control emotionally because we recognize that we just fucked up. But we also caused a round loss. And now we're 4-6. And you can hear it in how you breathe here. So everything starts changing right at this point.
Wow.
That sigh. It's a painful sigh, man. It's a painful sigh. I feel for you, man. I feel for you.
I'm thinking in my brain people are gonna do things because they never do.
Okay. So, this round is awesome. Everything you do here is awesome. Even this little change you do with the sniper, with Reyna.
You want my skin? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I was.
Like, what?
He's like, yo, I want your skin. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, so anyways. I still feel like this shot is easier if you double zoom.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel.
Yeah, I don't really think about that too much. I just kind of shoot my gun, you know.
Just think about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You hit the shot, beautiful. My favorite part is how you reposition. This is fantastic. All really good. Okay? Here's where we mess up.
Okay, here's my mentality here because I remember this. It's just like, who in their right mind would actually beat this? What type of psychopath would just swing? So I don't think they would be too necessarily ready for it, which is why I just went for this.
Even if they're not ready for it, this is Christmas for them. Because you're giving them a chance to win the round. Right? Statistically right now, if you just stay in logs and work a trade with your Sage, you win. You clean it up. But Reyna throws a smoke and can clear this angle super easy. No problem, because he knows that you're not going to peek into that flash. Right? This is a very similar situation, isn't it? I'm trying to think of where I've seen you do this before. Where was it? Oh yeah! You were doing that with Raze, weren't you? Where you had an ability get thrown at you and you held a position.
Yeah. Because it's like... No, because I've literally... It's funny that you're reviewing this because I literally steal this from Baby Bay.
Okay.
Like, because no, there's a VOD I watched of like FaceCam when FaceCam was at its peak.
Right.
It's funny you're talking about Race because it was on Vine. He was in showers. He got like naded, right? It's like, oh yeah, they're clearing showers and they're walking out. So he jumps into the nade, and he does similar shit. He jumps into the nade and takes like some explosive damage, gets a kill for free, and dashes out. Like, and I've seen him do it like multiple times because I've watched like. You know, I've watched reviews of like top Jet players. That's something that I literally just steal from him.
Do you have a dash right now?
No, I don't. So I didn't even think about move. But like, you see what's in my brain with this, right? Like, 'cause in their brain, I've like walked through so much utility and shit and got 3 kills because it's just like nobody will be like, oh, there's util there. I don't need to worry about that. Booga, my gun goes shooty, you know.
Okay. First and foremost. Yes, we run into utility, and you know which one I was referring to, right? When Raze the kill that I went and the scrim I was shaking my head. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Regardless of that, even stepping into this molly is not the mistake. The mistake is re-peeking this angle. We can just give it up at this point. It's a 4v2. Let them have sight. Let your teammate come back and retake with you. You staying alive here is more of a threat than you peeking out and getting a kill. Okay? It's now a winnable situation, 2v3 with bomb plant. Where have we seen this situation before? 2v3.
I have indeed seen this situation before.
You have, because we've played it several times in retake servers. Right? Fair enough?
Yeah. They're both there.
So this is a winnable situation now. Whereas if you play back here, you wait for Sova, even if they throw a smoke down, whatever, you have now a full retake from Garage, from CT, and you have a Reyna flank as well. That pretty much locks down the round. Staying alive sometimes is the most effective thing you can do for your team. You already did your job. You got 2 fantastic entries. Just run away. Just wait. Even if you wanted, you could do even more just by going back here and playing this angle right over here, where my mouse is, and just cover the backhand of the site, because that controls this entire section of the map. They now can't use the back end of the site. They can only be in the front, and you can communicate that. As an opera, you control this entire section of the map. So when they're coming in, they know they can only be here. They can only be here. They could creep up logs on you, but you're going to have Sova be able to trade off you with that. So they can only be in this section of the whole map right here. Does that make sense? And then who knows, you might pick up another 2 frags, right?
Nice, good shit.
So you don't get punished for it, but you could have. It's possible, right?
We ended CT.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Haven.
Okay, so T side. I asked this question a lot from people.
Yeah,
Why are we buying a sheriff in the first round? What's your reason?
because I can shoot people in the face and get the 1 tap.
Okay. Can you do that with a ghost? Can you do that with
Not at
a
every
classic?
range.
Not at every range. Okay. So what is our plan then? So we're gonna buy the sheriff. What's your pre-round plan on this
Don't
round?
remember. Let's not fucking like- there was
Okay.
one round I could
So we're gonna buy the sheriff. We're gonna get in position here.
If you fucking fuck that shit, I'm so upset. Yo, I'ma ego swing the fuck out of a dude long.
You're gonna ego
That's my
swing the.
plan. That's
There
my
you go.
plan. Yes,
There's your
sir.
plan. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna
really
ego
good.
swing the guy out long. So this is good because you're using a sheriff, which is going to be a long range fight.
Gonna be somebody long. I'm gonna ego swing the fuck out of it. I need y'all to come to.
Okay, this is your plan.
I
Let's
might
see
die.
what happens.
I might die, but it's fine. That's perfect. I actually love it. Yeah,
So you have a plan. We must execute the plan. All right, execute the plan. For the love of God, execute the plan.
God,
Execute the plan. Where are you going?
that was my idea. That was my idea right there. And then I would go short.
Okay, so that was your idea. This angle here with the sheriff is going to be disadvantageous to you. Why? Because they could be purchasing guns like a frenzy. You hear him reload, by the way. Okay, so you hear him reload really close to you. It's a small thing, but most people won't pick it up. And that's why it's really tough to win that fight. So if you're gonna take that sheriff, we kind of have to commit to long.
Fuck, I knew he would be there.
That would be the one thing I would say.
Oh my god. Scheduled perfect timing.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an easy one. Super, super easy. The right tool for the right job is what I call it. I would
Yeah.
sooner see you grab a frenzy and just go up short. This round, I really like what you do here because you tell everyone what you're going to do. You're communicating how you're going to entry. The one thing I want you to start doing a little bit more of is visualize how you're going to peek long C, right? Because even if you have a classic and it's not advantageous for you to win this fight, practicing that routine for when you have the gun rounds and the rounds you're going to have in the future will help you build good muscle memory.
Yeah.
Because how you peek it, look where your crosshair is, right? And you also peek close from the wall. So if you're peeking close from the wall, you're going to expose a lot more of your body faster than if you were to peek further away. So I want you to be practicing every single round, methodically thinking about how you're going to peek this angle. Especially as an entry fragger, it's super important as your job role requires that. So how you peek angles is important. You might have been able to get one headshot off on this, okay? That would drastically change the way that you push into the site and take this guy.
Yeah, I think it was kind of just like, for me, it was like, okay, I'm just like going. I wasn't really thinking about that. It was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go, just trying to run it down, dash on site, you know.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think being able to identify that now will change your mentality of how you should be taking these rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see this now for yourself. So we know where Jet is here. We can be a little bit more patient here and just slowly take our time to kill this guy. We opened up with a right click. We don't have to do that. Just one tap him in the head. Take your time. Even if you don't get the kill, it's fine. We're gonna lose this run anyway. It's an eco. Just take your time and just go for it. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a really interesting round because you get caught. Here's the power of Brimstone. Brimstone can literally anchor a site and hold it down and keep people away from critical positions for a very long period of time. So you're going to see a Molotov that's going to hold you off from pushing into hell, which is where you want to end up going on this.
Are we going to be judging this shit or some bullshit? I'm fearing for my fucking life.
Brimstone is so underrated in the current meta. It's just mind-boggling. I don't understand why people don't use him more often. He literally can hold down a site for seconds at a time on his own. This molly right here changes exactly how you need to entry. It totally fucks you because you cannot go through that, right? You could, it's just you're gonna be wiped, right? So when this happens and we kind of have backside control over here, we don't have underneath hell, which would be beneficial if you had that positioning wise, but we don't have that. So now you have to make a decision on where you need to position. Okay, you might, as a Jet player, decide to updraft somewhere and just hold an off angle. You also need to figure out where your threats are coming from, because here's a big piece. It's a 5v5 and we have full site control. Right away, this makes me worry. Whenever I see a situation like this, we haven't got an entry frag, I'm thinking, what the hell are they doing? Is there a Brimstone ult? Is there something that I need to be aware of and worried about? There isn't in this round because it's too early into the game. But this is immediately, in my mind, I'm worried there's something going on. Or they're very, very close. Probably one in heaven, really close right now. If we haven't had any contact yet. We've only ran into some utility. So, my first question to you is, in this situation, where you're standing right here, where are your threats for death?
Everywhere.
Be more specific.
Heaven and short.
Heaven and short?
Right now, or not short, sorry, CT. I'm stupid. And then
CT
I'll
lower,
start
you
to
mean?
worry about flank. Yeah.
We don't have to worry about flank just yet, because we just ran it out. So I would say if someone's flanking, they're probably jumping up into window right now, because they're not gonna run it because they don't want to know that you're in there, and they don't have numbers. They don't know. So anyone flanking, you probably have another 10-15 seconds. So your main threat, you identified right away, was heaven. So look at where a crosshair is. Okay, this is another little thing, and I mentioned this to Striker the other day when I was doing his VOD. Our crosshair should be in a place for a purpose. Okay, so let's get our crosshair right up to heaven. I think there's one point where you flick up earlier on, but this is the only place you can be killed from. So we just keep our crosshair up there, because your team is covering this. If someone runs out on you and you die from that, that's not on you, that's on your teammates. So this is not your responsibility. Heaven right here, where you're at, is your responsibility at this point.
I was just trying to make sure, like, I wasn't in the, molly. Like, I looked down because I know I was moving and I was stopping shooting, like, that I just didn't want to step into that molly.
Fair enough.
And I wanted to know exactly where it was, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you can still have it. You can still have the crosshair pinned. Just gotta back up a bit. Now, let's say you didn't get killed here instantaneously. Where would you path? Where would you go?
Probably go short.
You could. You could also go long. We could go long. You can watch
I
the
mean,
flank.
I think that's what I was trying to do. It's just because, like, we don't have heaven smoked. I can't exactly just walk long.
Mm.
You know?
Your Sage is planning and you're asking for a heal.
Okay, heal. Oh my fucking god.
Just assume you're not going to get a heal. Always assume.
Yeah.
It's always a bonus if you get a heal. Just assume you're not going to get a heal. Even in a high level, assume you're not going to get a heal. You're just, if you get it, great. If not, assume you're playing with 79 health. So, as you get better, you're going to identify, we just got the bomb site, and there's nothing here, and I can't get in there. Where do I need to path? Where do I need to sit? Where should I go? That makes it most logical for my team, because the positioning on a post plant determines the win or loss on the round. Look at where your team is right now. Because we're all bunched up, you're going to see this a lot in lower rank play, because we're all bunched up right now, and you'll be able to identify this as we're going through this more and more, right? The less map control we have. We currently are giving up 1, 2, 3, 4 areas to retake in. This is going to make us suffocate. This is suffocation mode. Whenever you see this, you are suffocating. Spread out.
Okay, heal.
So I would have been at this point, right here, S-keying towards long with my crosshair on heaven. And I know there's a smoke there, but it's about to dissipate.
Okay, heal. Oh my fucking god.
Small things. They all add up though. Other small thing, and I'm nitpicking here, but if I don't, someone's going to be like, well, why didn't you talk about this? How many bullets does it take to kill someone with a Vandal?
1.
Perfect. We have 10 bullets. We don't need to reload.
Okay, heal. Oh my fucking
Small
god.
thing. That's more, for me, personally, that's 2020 hindsight. That's not something I'm really worried about too much, but it's something that could potentially happen in the future as well, right? Okay. Round 16 I love. This is the next round that's coming up. This is a great round. You don't get the results in terms of a round win, but you do a really good job here.
But it's fucking Seagull.
You call out what you're going to do.
Wow.
You lead the rush in.
I've got a
This is
Spectre,
all
so I'm
good.
fucking running it down.
Perfect. Everyone knows what you're going to do. They can play off of you. You had an Omen Flash following up. You got your frag, and you got traded. It is now on your Sova, and it is on your Omen to kill this Reyna. If they don't, bad luck. Roll on to the next round. But you did your job, and you cannot get angry at this point. You did everything extremely well for your role. I don't care if you're 7-11. You created an opportunity for your team to win this round, and you took
My
space.
Omen's decided he's going stinger only.
Forget it. Who cares? We've talked about this before.
He's fucking stinger only, man. I don't get it.
Whatever. Forget him. You're on an eco right now. What's a win for you on eco? What is a win? What is your win condition? Obviously winning the round. If you won the round, amazing, right?
Spike down. Get the spike down.
That's a good win condition for sure. Getting the spike down would give you some more cash for sure. What else is a win for you on an eco?
Winning the round.
Winning the round, we already talked about that. Obviously winning the round would be amazing. That would be like best
Oh, yeah.
case scenario.
Sorry. I zoned out for a second. My bad.
That's okay.
Win the round, get the bomb down, get as many kills as possible.
Beautiful. Even if you don't win the round, that's still a win. Good. Best way to create an opportunity for you to get a frag with a classic. What would that be? Best fight that you can take.
Short angles.
Short angles. Beautiful. Let's watch the round. Don't worry about him. Focus on what you're going to do. If you know what you've just identified and you need a close range fight, How are we going to path? Think about how you're going to path into this bomb site to create a close range fight for yourself. That's what you're worried about. Visualize the path you're going to take and execute that path. Don't worry about what they're doing. Beautiful smoke. The pathing is good. This is good. You're closing the distance instead of swinging out. This is good. This is all good. This is good. This is really good. Okay? Now where do you want to go? My recommendation? Swing through graffiti. You have a smoke over here. Let's get into that smoke. Let's get right in their face. This will create time for your Sage to get bombed down. Okay, we're chasing after. We don't have to. We can ignore him. We can just go right into that smoke. I think there's, and this is not just you. I think everyone has this mentality that if we see someone first, let's say you see someone at long, okay? We have to kill that guy first. I feel like everyone has that mentality. Like, everyone chase that guy. Whereas there's 5 other people and they're all rotating. They're expecting you to fight Reyna. Imagine if you ran in through that smoke, ignored Reyna, and just popped out on the other side of that smoke and just like killed 3. They would not be ready for that. I've done that several times. This is a small thing, but I want you to think about, if we're talking about fights and winning more fights, we want to create the best possible positioning for ourselves to get a frag without getting fragged on. So where can we stand that is advantageous for us versus what is advantageous for them, right? How do we make them at a disadvantage? That's how you win more gunfights, especially when you're posting up on things. So for example, in this situation, you're posted up and we had just saw a Reyna swing us from the right hand side, as we can see with the question mark right over here. What we want to do is eliminate the possibilities of places that people can peek us out on. So if we're standing right here right now, we could be swung out from someone on the left, we can be swung out from someone in the middle, and we can be swung out from someone on the right here. So what we need to do is cut off as many of those angles as we possibly can. If we move a little bit more to the left, then we will be able to line up this box with this wall in the corner. That would eliminate this left angle and only allow for 2 angles to come in from. That means you'll have more of an opportunity to flick to the right and adjust and work with it versus having to flick either left or right. The other thing too is that we now eliminate another place that we can be killed from. Okay, so this is making it a little bit more advantageous for us. But still, regardless, you do get the kill here, but I want you to be very hyper aware that this angle later on could get you killed. So we want to identify which ones are better than other ones, and I don't expect you to have this down right away, but definitely something that you want to improve over time. And you will get punished eventually, and you'll have to identify through your own VOD reviews and whatever, or looking with me, as to which one was better for you. Was that a good peak? Was that not a good peak? What are the pros and cons of these peaks? And that way, over time, through every single map, you will eventually get better and climb because of it. So round number 19, I really... I thought it was hilarious because I love your commentary. Your commentary is so great on this one. Because it's like a self-talk. It's a self-talk. You're like, do I do this? Do I not do this? I'm not sure what I should do. So let's look at the situation. The first things first, you've got to pick right here. It's a 4v5 situation. We have numbers, okay? And I love what you're about to do. So guys, if you're ever curious, if you ever want to know if you should check if there's an op or if you need to figure out some information, this jump peak right here is fantastic. You just got the information. There's a jet over on long and he's holding an op on you. This is really, really good. So listen to what you say here. It just makes me laugh.
Fucking read like a book.
Read like a book. Perfect. You know he's there. This is great. Please don't re-peek him.
Can I use this?
No, you don't swing it. No, don't swing it.
Yeah,
Please don't. No, it's not funny. It's not funny. You have numbers. Don't do it. Why? Why are you doing this? Do not do this. Come on. It's not funny. It's a 5v3. So it's a 5v3. It's a 5v2. You don't have to swing on this. You don't have to risk it because this is Christmas. You are creating an opportunity for the team to come back to it. And I know that you were doing it just for the lulz, but let's try to control that in the future.
We have ours every slate.
We're in this situation, and it's a 3v2 situation. Okay, bombs down. We're looking really good right now.
I'm flanking.
Oh, shit. It's a 2v2 situation. Let's fall back into cubby. Fall back into cubby. Go back into cubby. Don't do it. Don't hold it. Don't.
Fuck, I actually suck. That's my bad.
Oh.
You're different. Yeah, I definitely... Worthy for the VOD. For the VOD, I definitely should have waited here for a sage flank and tried to distract instead of committing to a fight. That's... I know that one. You have to tell me that one.
Yes. Yeah. That's... Yeah. Yeah. Ow. Hard to watch.